Hi everyone, this is Melinda from MTZ Crew Designs. Welcome back to another tutorial from the Paint Couture creative team. So I have a deep appreciation of antiques and vintage furnishings, and lately I've been on a mission to add to my collection of ornate gold frames. However, they're not that easy to find in my area, so I decided to take matters into my own two crafty hands. Yay! So today I have a video that will show you how you can create your own beautiful ornate frame that has that special old world style flair with the help of a few simple and easy to use products from Couture Paint and iFlex wood products. So I'm using this particular frame that has been in our family for a while. I've just figured it was time to give it a proper glow up. And naturally, the silly altered art pictures are optional. If this is something you've been curious to learn about, hang out with me for a few more minutes and I'll show you how I did it. Okay, let's get started. So I started off by cleaning this frame well to get rid of any dust and debris, as this was an old handcrafted item. But if you don't have something like this, thrift stores would be a great place to find something you could make your own. After it's clean, I started planning out which iFlex wood products I wanted to use. I chose two different styles that work best for the look I'm going for. Right now, I'm working with the decorative plumes that will be used in each corner of the frame, and those are number 1354. I'm starting off by heating up my iFlex pieces with my blow dryer, but you can also use a heat gun. iFlex wood products are heat bendable moldings, and they can be painted, stained, drilled, sanded, and varnished. Most of these are very lightweight, so they can be molded to any contoured surface. Now I'm working with this center applique embellishment, and it's number 2104. I'm using Tight Bond Quick and Thick wood glue to adhere them onto my surface. Once I've got the pieces set with the glue, I'll add just a small piece of tape to keep them steady while they're drying. After the iFlex wood products are dried and secure, I'm using Paint Couture's Crust to apply the illusion of texture here around the frame windows. Crust is an acrylic plaster speckled with a natural mineral from the earth. And what's really cool about this product is that you can use it to create any desired look. Sometimes I use it to give a crusty look to my projects, but today I'm actually applying it in a little bit of a thicker layer than usual, just to kind of achieve a smoother finish. I like to use different tools when I'm applying crust. Just kind of depends on the surface I'm working with. Here I found the most useful tools were my silicone paintbrush and a metal spatula, just to kind of get the finish that I'm looking for. Now, I'll leave this to dry for a bit, but keep in mind that the drying time is dependent on how you've applied it and what climate conditions you're in. You'll know it's dry when it's no longer wet to the touch. But I usually just leave mine to dry overnight and I just don't mess with it. And then I'll come back the next day and start adding my paint. Now I'm going to start adding my paint, and I'm using the color Dark Sea from Paint Couture's acrylic mineral line. This is an acrylic water-based mineral paint. This paint is self-leveling and it's an all-in-one paint, so it's already designed with a built-in primer and top coat. This paint is so incredibly durable and it has amazing coverage that actually dries to a smooth matte finish. And I'm just being really careful to get in between the frame and the iFlex wood products just to make sure that I'm completely covering that wood frame behind the iFlex wood products. Now, since I'm going for that old world vintage aesthetic, I want to give the frame an aged appearance. So I'm going to use Paint Couture's Crackle Kit to help with that. It's important to keep in mind that if you want small cracks on your project, just apply this in thin layers. Alternatively, if you want large cracks, then you can apply it in thicker layers. I'm actually applying step 1 in thick and thin layers throughout the entire frame though, because I want that variation with the crack sizes. After step 1 is applied, I'll let that sit for about 30 minutes to an hour before adding step 2. You want to allow step 1 to dry to a tacky state before adding step 2. And then once step 2 is added, I'll usually let that sit overnight to dry naturally because that could take about 5 or 6 hours. And so this is what it looks like now when it's completely dried and the cracks have set in. So now it's ready for some glaze. Now I'm using Paint Couture's metallic glaze in the color Copperhead. This is a water-based acrylic glaze that is very simple to use. You just brush it on and wipe it off. I'm applying it all over the frame and I'll leave it on to sit for a little while before wiping it back. You can apply as much or as little of the glaze as you'd like. I just really like the look of it, so I'm going in with 2 coats of the glaze and kind of letting it sit for a little bit in between each coat so that it really gets in there and you have that vibrant copper effect. Since I'm glazing over the iFlex wood products as well, I just want to be careful to get the glaze down into the grooves of each piece. So I use a small artist brush to do that. These glazes can also be used as a stain, and when you use these metallic glazes as a stain, the wow factor is next level. I can't even begin to tell you, it's so stunning and so gorgeous. Now, it's actually really hard to photograph metallic finishes on a project. So I took a few pictures of the frame with and without the flash so you can kind of see how nicely the glaze pairs with the crackle finish. So you can kind of look closely and see how it seeped into each of the cracks. And this is kind of what it looks like after the glaze has dried completely. You do see a little bit of the blue peeking through, so it almost looks kind of like a bluish gray. Now, the left side has a little bit more glaze than the right side does, so I'm actually going back in to add a little bit more on the right side. But I wanted to show you how it looks with a little bit of a heavier application of the glaze on the left versus on the right. It still has the blue peeking through to where it's kind of a bluish gray. So I do love that. But yeah, you can kind of see how it looks in the light as well. So after the glaze dried, I still felt like it needed a little bit more razzle dazzle. So I went back over some of the ornate areas of the frame with just a little bit of gold gilding wax. And voila, here is the finished look. I think it's safe to say that this frame is totally pulling off that vintage glam vibe now. I love it. It's so pretty. And that wraps it up for today's tutorial. Again, I'm Melinda from MTZ Crew Designs. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you were able to learn about new ways that you can use some of Paint Couture's products. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. And if I've inspired you to create with any of iFlex wood products or any of Paint Couture Paint's products, please feel free to use my affiliate link that will be located down below, along with a full list of all the products that I used today. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any of the amazing content that our Paint Couture creative team is putting together for you. Have an awesome day, everyone. Bye.